show, and we are live here at the South Carolina State Fair building, the Goodman building, and we have a very special guest. You know him from the On Patrol Live. He's an anchor, and he's also from 101.3 The Big DM here in Columbia. He's also a morning anchor at ABC Columbia here in Columbia as well. You all know him, Deputy Curtis Wilson. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You know, it's wonderful for you to be here.
You have a great voice, by the way.
No, I think yours is much better.
No, yours is much better.
My man.
My man.
Now, Curtis and everybody at home, as you can see behind us, like I said, we're in the Goodman building, and right down there is the Richland County Sheriff's Department booth, where we've been here for many, many years. In fact, this is the 126th year that the State Fair has been here in Columbia, and it's been an honor to be here every single year. Now, Curtis, I want to ask you, there's a number of departments here.
Right.
We got the Lexington County, we got Columbia Police Department, and we're
Highway
here.
Patrol. You got them all out there.
Every single one of them. It's great to see every last one of them, so people can meet and mingle. And also, there's a number of reasons why they're here. One is maybe they're looking for some employment.
Yeah.
But the Richland County Sheriff Department isn't here for that.
We got a waiting list at the Richland County Sheriff's Department.
We do.
And that goes, because of the leadership that we have with Sheriff Leon Lott, doing great things, providing the great tools that the deputies need and so forth, and the support. And we're community-minded. And this is why we're here. It's not for recruitment. It's to, of course, bridge that gap, continue to bridge that gap between us and the community, which is so, so, so important. And our department, by the way, makes up the diversity of the community as it does in our department.
Absolutely.
So we have every culture, every background at our Sheriff's Department. And that's important. So when people come out to the South Carolina State Fair, they can relate. You know what I mean?
Sir.
And on top of that, again, it's about showing the community that we care. Doing the things that we do for you, to protect you.
Yes.
And also to keep you safe. And what I love about the Office of Public Information as well is the things that you guys do to help tie those together. You know what I mean? You show it, and you do shows like this.
Yeah. And you were talking about diversity in the community. One of the things that, like you had mentioned, Sheriff Leon Lott, he is so, it's so important to him that we reach all aspects, all geographics and demographics of the people here. And we have a thing called the CAT team. What is that about? And how diverse is that?
Community Action Team. And basically, it's what I love about the Community Action Team. There are like 14 different deputies, but those deputies are embedded in the community. Now you have your patrol units, they do their job in the different regions, but the Community Action Team, their job is to touch that community, to know who the community leaders are, to attend the meetings, to attend the events and so forth. And if there's any complaints and issues that any member of that neighborhood or community has, it's the CAT team's job to eradicate it, to fix it, and make sure everybody's good. And that's basically what the Community Action Team does. They are there for you guys. They have to know exactly who you are and who you know how back in the day where you had to know your neighbor?
Yes.
That's the CAT Team's member job.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do that thing we call community policing. They're on their feet all the time, but also they're not just one demographic.
Right. No. Again, when we talk about that, we have Asians, we have Muslims, we have, of course, white, we have black, we have you name it, it's on the CAT team as well.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of people see you on...
do you know how many languages we speak? 78.
78.
78. And let me tell you, on-call... And this is, the reason why is because when you're pulling somebody over and they don't speak English, we have on-call, those who speak the different languages. We can call them up and say, hey, we have somebody. And this helps too. It helps to communicate with the individual so they're not afraid and scared and the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely, because you never know. If I was to walk up to somebody who speaks a different dialect, I'm not be able to understand, and they're going to have an issue that I can't figure out.
Barrier.
But here at the Richland County Sheriff's Department, we just pick up a phone.
And we make a call, and we have those folks who are available for us.
Absolutely.
Who are working with the Sheriff's Department.
Yeah. So a lot of people out there who are watching are probably wondering how you got your feet wet. How did you start doing what you're doing?
I dipped it in the water down there, and that...
Where did you begin? Is it your voice? Was it unique, or did you just? Because I've also seen you at University of South Carolina basketball games. You're at halftime. He's getting the crowd riled. It's so exciting to see the things that you do. How did you get your start?
Well, the voice was one thing. I was blessed to have the voice that I do. Personality and attitude were the two things that really got me in, because it wasn't my academics. My academics didn't come till later on. You know what I mean? I didn't take my education serious, which I should have. But once I realized the capabilities of being able to go further in life and how academics was able to do that, I just got serious about things. And I used everything that God has given me. I used everything that those mentors who I truly loved and adored out in the community. when I was a kid, I used to listen to a radio personality. His name was Frankie Crocker,
Mm-hmm.
also Ken Webb. And I used to pretend to be those guys, you
Okay.
know? Mom used to tell me, go sweep up the room. And I used to pretend that broom was my microphone. 'Cause
Right.
that's how bad I wanted to be on radio.
Very cool.
And I just honed my skills. I went to a school, technical school, to learn
Okay.
how to do radio, and then that blossomed into bigger radio shows that I used
Right.
to do. Then TV. I wanted to be in movies, really.
Right, right.
You know, I didn't make it in movies, but I made it in TV.
Yes, you did.
You know, as a news anchor.
Yes.
With WLTX first, then
Okay.
crossed over to ABC, which I love being at right now. Been
Yeah.
there with him about 12 years as a morning news anchor, and then I still wanted to do my radio, so I held on to that. But then doing both of those things, I wanted to get into law enforcement.
Right.
Because you know, when you're doing news, you show these faces of individuals committing these crimes and the names of individuals and then the ages sometimes too. And when I realized there's a lot of kids out there doing some bad stuff,
Yeah.
I wanted to make a difference.
Absolutely.
And that's when, you know, I became a part of the law enforcement family. And Sheriff Lott was gracious enough to let me do what I do. The TV station was gracious enough to let me go through the academy, and I was able to knock it out, you know, and then it's just been full steam ahead ever since then. How did I get into the University of South Carolina? I was doing Benedict's games.
Okay.
Benedict College. I was doing their basketball game for men and women. I was doing their football games. And then I got approached by somebody from the University of South Carolina who says, hey, we want to start doing some fun stuff on the court, and would you be interested? I said, heck yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's Gamecocks.
Absolutely.
Oh, Gamecocks.
Go Cox.
Yeah.
Go Cox.
So I started with the program there, started doing just the women's games.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hold up. Men were like, we want them. So I started
Yes.
doing the men's games. And then baseball was like, we want them. So I started doing baseball games.
Yes.
But then that blossomed because the Southeastern Conference then saw what I was doing and says, hey, we'd love for you to come do the championship series for us.
Nice.
So I started doing the men and women's championship series for them, and then also baseball for them.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of traveling around. And everything else, like I said, just kept snowballing into something else and into something else and something else. And again, remember, it was all from personality and
Yeah.
attitude and just being out there in the community and making a difference.
Absolutely. Now, those of you at home are watching right now, if you have a question for Curtis Wilson, please go ahead and send it. Now, you're part of a very big hit show. For those of you who don't know, Peacock has this channel called the Reels channel. It used to be Live PD, it used to be Cops, but now it's called On Patrol Live, and it's huge. And here in South Carolina, it's on the Spectrum as well on channel 127, where every Friday and Saturday night at 9 p.m., you're going to see this guy on a hit show On Patrol Live. How did you get involved with that, and what does that show do for the department?
Well, years ago, we had a crew that sent an email over to the Office of Public Information. That's when I used to work in PIO at the Sheriff's Department. And they said, hey, we have a show, unnamed show right now, but it's different than any other show before. It's not like Cops where they record stuff, edit it, and then show it. This would be a show that's live, following, at that time, 8 departments across the country. And they came to Richland County, and the reason why is because of what we stand for and what we do.
Yeah.
And at that time, too, diversity was good. We wanted to have that diversity. We also wanted to show the fact that when you say we want to be transparent.
Yes.
We want to be able to show what's going on. Because, you know, a lot of people can take a 5-second clip or a 10-second clip or a cop slamming somebody down to the ground and say, look what he did to that guy.
Right.
But what happened before that?
Right.
You know? And then what's going to happen after that? So you get to see the beginning, the middle, and end. And when they described this show, pitched it to the sheriff, and the sheriff was all for it because of the fact that, again, he is very transparent with what the deputies are out there doing in the streets.
Absolutely.
So they finally came up with the name, which was Live PD. I happened to be able to talk about the wanted segments from here. When we're looking for individuals who may have fled Richland County and went to other states and so forth. So I was doing the segments with Tom Morris at that time, whether it was wanted or if it was a crime that was committed and we wanted to get it, you know, identified of the individuals who committed these crimes. So I was doing just those segments. And when the show ended and they decided to revamp it, here it is, the birth of On Patrol Live.
Yeah.
Tom Morris couldn't do it because he was doing another show.
Right.
He says, hey, how about that guy from South Carolina, from Richland County, who used to do the wanted segments? He was great. And so they automatically hit me up.
Yeah.
And when they did, I was in Hoover, Alabama, working the baseball championship series for the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
I get the call from one of the producers. He said, hey, we want you for this show. And I was like, okay. I'm always saying okay. Said okay. And next thing you know, I'm like right there getting the information while I'm working these baseball games.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm being flown up to New York to meet Dan Abrams and Sean Sticks Larkin at that time.
Yeah.
And then Sticks stepped off
Yeah.
to do his own show. He's got another show that he's doing as well, and so they brought Tom Rizzo in, who's
Okay.
the next guy. So, but it's been great working with all these guys. And Dan, boy, you talking about my schedule? Talk about Dan's schedule.
Yeah, I've
It's
seen him
crazy.
on a variety of different channels. He
Yeah.
has his own show on another channel as well.
So many shows.
Yeah.
And a production company. He's really busy. Real busy.
You know, I think it's outstanding. You mentioned that Sheriff Leon Lott likes the fact that we're on that show for transparency, because there's a stigma around the country with police officer and they claim brutality and all this stuff. But with this show, you can see it from the start to the end, how it was initiated,
Yeah.
and that the laws are there for a reason. Fourth Amendment, we don't go up too far, and we make sure that everybody is protected,
Right.
and we make sure that whatever charges that are given are they accurate charges.
Right.
So we're not. It's the people at home can see exactly what happens, and
It's
there's
important.
no room for
Yeah.
an error. Like, no way, he shouldn't have done that. No, watch
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah. You know, you do traffic stops. You know, we call them routine, but there's really no ever such
Right.
thing as a routine traffic stop, because you don't know who you're dealing with. We never know who we're approaching when we go up there. You know, we can run the tags and the whole 9 yards, but it may not be that individual behind the wheel.
Right.
So when you get up to the car, you see what happens. People can learn what to and what not to do when law enforcement approaches a vehicle. What not to do, you know, to make sure not to get a ticket. You
Right,
know,
yeah.
if you as soon as the cop comes up to the window, what you stopping me for? And you know good and well you were speeding, or you know
Exactly.
good and well your license suspended. You know good and well that's not the tag that belongs to the vehicle.
Right.
But yet you want to argue and fuss with the officer at the window. What's going to happen now? Now
Right.
he's going to do his job.
Yes.
Other than that, he has that. What do you call it? Discretion,
Yes.
whether or not he wants to write or she wants to write.
Absolutely.
You know, the personality and attitude goes a long way.
Absolutely. I mean, if someone's going to pull you over, just do what you're asked to do.
That's it. Comply.
And
Comply
9
is
times
simple.
out of 10, more than likely, it's going to be a warning if
Yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
if it's not to a certain level.
Right.
But if you're speeding a little bit,
Tell
where
you
are
to slow
going?
down.
Yeah.
You know, blah, 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 blah. Find
Yeah.
out what the reason is and so forth. But it just depends. You could talk yourself into a ticket. You can talk
Absolutely.
yourself out of a ticket.
We've seen that many times on the show where
Yeah.
people have talked themselves
Absolutely.
into tickets
Absolutely.
for absolutely no reason.
Just go on. "Ah, I'm not gonna. I'm not.
Yes.
We sit on the set. Just go. Just stop.
Yes.
Just stop talking. Now, of course, you don't see us saying that, but we're talking to that guy, telling him,
yeah.
stop it.
In fact, this last weekend, the gentleman in the little car,
Okay.
when he just
Yeah.
said every derogatory term you could
Yeah,
think of
yeah.
towards the officer who was pulling him over, just because his paper tag on his car or his license plate was up to where he couldn't read it.
Right.
And as soon as he pulled him over, all the guy could say was, "You're high beaming me. You're high beaming me," and just kept going. He just talked himself into a ticket.
It's important. If we can't see that tag,
Yes.
you know, which, like we said, we don't know who's in there, what they're doing. It could be a crime.
Absolutely.
That vehicle could have been involved in a crime, but we cannot see that tag. It's important for us to be able to see it. You know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's a wonderful
I appreciate
experience.
it.
I know you're very busy.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in to On Patrol Live on the Reels channel, on Peacock app, also on Spectrum 127. And again, as you can see behind us, we are at the South Carolina State Fair, the 126th. And come see Richland County Sheriff Department, their booth right behind us. Tomorrow, there's different themes every single day. And this Saturday, more On Patrol Live is going to be here. Danny Brown, Bryce Hughes, Cato, even the very big and buff Garrow Brown.
Move out this. He won't fit in this chair.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy. But again, let's thank you. I want to thank you for tuning in.
Hold
I
up.
want to-
Who's the one that does this? Glad to be here. Who smiles all the time? Braylon.
Braylon.
He's the
Braylon
fastest
Salmon.
one.
Yes, Braylon Salmon. In fact, if you haven't seen his video, go on YouTube. It's
so
for
funny.
10 fun facts.
I love that.
And he's known for foot pursuits.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune into that. But again, we want to thank Deputy Curtis Wilson here, On Patrol Live Star, ABC Columbia News. Make sure you tune into that. And also the 101.3 Big DM.
My man.
Make sure you tune in next time. My man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.